This video, we're going to look at the angles formed by two chords inside of a circle. So I've got an example here. We have a circle, and there are two chords that meet, and they meet right here. Notice the center is here, not where the chords meet. So that's important for this. And we have some angles here. We've got angles A, B, C, and D, and we're going to figure out how many degrees these angles are with these given arc measures. All right, so normally when people first see this, they say, well, if this angle's 94, or this arc is 94, then the angle should be 94 too, because the central angle and the arc are the same. Well, hey, guess what? It's not a central angle. Central angle has to have a vertex right here. This is off the center. And the other thing is, if that's true, then C would have to be 36, but how could these two be different if they're vertical angles? So clearly that's not the case. So let's figure it out. For angle A, right here, if we want to figure this out, it's these two lines that make angle A. And what we're going to do, and A and C are the same, so we're going to figure out A and C at the same time. We're going to use the intercepted arcs for both A and C, 94 and 36, and we are going to add those up and divide by 2. So angle A is 94 plus 36 divided by 2. And it's that simple. So 94 plus 36 is 130. Half of 130 is 65. So angles A and C are both 65 degrees. What this is you can think of it as the average of 94 and 36. 65 is right in the middle of these two numbers. And so this angle C would also be 65 degrees. For B and D, well, there's a couple ways. You can just say, well, I know that A and B are supplementary, so they have to add up to 180. So you just do 180 minus 65. That would probably be the smart, easy thing to do. But if we're getting some practice here, if I want to figure out angle B, I would do the same thing. I'd take 120 plus 110 and divide it by 2. This ends up being 230. So half of 230 is 115. And a couple ways to check. This is a lot easier to check than 94 and 36. 115 is right in the middle of 110 and 120. And I know that. That's a pretty easy one to check. I also can check because 65 and 115 are supplementary, and they should be. They make a straight line. So let's look at a couple examples of this. Or actually, I think I just have one example here. I've got this arc is 102, and this angle is 123. And this is not what I wanted you to figure out. D is pretty darn easy. We're going to figure out this arc right here. So if you want, pause the video, see if you can figure this out on your own. If you have no idea how to do this, well, continue watching. Okay, so I'm going to start with this angle right here. I know that this is 123, and these two angles make a nice straight line, so I know these are supplementary. I'm going to do 180 and subtract 123. So this would be 57 degrees. Well, in my previous example, I said that 102 plus this divided by 2 would have to equal 57. So I kind of know my answer. I got to figure out what this is. There's a couple different ways to look at this, so I'll just write it out a little bit kind of algebraically. I'll say 102 plus D, that's the letter I chose, divided by 2 equals 57. So now I'm just going to solve this algebra equation. If I'm dividing by 2, I want to multiply by 2 to cancel that out first. We wouldn't subtract 102 first. This dividing by 2 is affecting that. So we get 102 plus D equals 114. And then if I subtract 102 from both sides, I end up with D equals 12 degrees. Okay, and so halfway between 102 and 12 degrees is 57 degrees. So this one is also 57. All right, and that's the basics of two angles formed by two chords in a circle.